can do that. So, but I wanted to mention these dreams that I found going through my dream book, and I found something that kind of reminded me of some of the things that helped me and continue to help me grow my mind state. And when you're talking about abundance and manifestation and things of that nature. Well, the first part of it is kind of not necessarily related to that, but I'm going to mention it just because that was the first part of the dream that night. So maybe it ties in some kind of way, but I know it was December 24th. I don't know the year because when I make my entries, I just put the date. And then it goes back so far that, I'm sure I could calculate it, but it was December 24th. So the first part, I'm in a city and it's like has maybe, like an orangish tint to it where it's, the sun is kind of going down a little bit. And there's like a bluish tint version of the same city coming into view and like overlaying it. And then I hear a voice say, the veil between worlds is thinning. And so that was the first part. Okay. Now the second part, I'm in this mansion. This huge, beautiful mansion. I'm talking with arching doorways and high ceilings, and everything is very intricately designed and artistically crafted with light fixtures and wood carvings and those heavy wood tables and chairs with the cushions, and it was very comfortable. And they have this table laid out with all this food on it, anything you can think of, fruits and vegetables, and everything was like perfect. And had like the chalices for juice or water or wine or whatever you were going to drink. But then off to the side, there's this guy. He looks homeless. He's in the house, but he looks homeless, and he's got a cardboard box set up. And so I'm looking like, what's this about? And I catch eyes with the man that's sitting at the head of the table. And without him speaking, I just intuitively knew that he was saying, that man has access to this entire house and beyond. And he's in that box because he chooses to be in that box. So enjoy, And so I thought about that, and I'm like, it's if that man wanted to access anything in this house and beyond, there would be nothing anybody could do to stop him. But that's his choice, and he has that allowance. So, and I thought about that, and I had to analyze my own relationship with abundance or with manifestation, in this mindset of feeling like you don't deserve certain things. Maybe not outright, consciously, maybe not like you're thinking, I don't deserve these things, but then you're thinking like, wait a minute, there's people living whatever way you think you should be living, there's somebody living that way. And why do they get to live that way and you don't? And the fundamental difference is it's a different mind state. It's learned, and your environment and circumstances and all of that stuff plays a factor. But nonetheless, it comes back down to that mindset. And so changing that and becoming in this mindset of expectation and knowing that, I'm here and I have access to those same things. And it was a matter of just knowing that I can have that, and whatever it is. There's always choices. Now, some of them could be incredibly difficult, but nonetheless, it is a choice. So I think a lot of time in my life where I've been in a depressed mind state, a lot of it has to do with because you feel like your choices are limited. And when you step outside of that and realize, I mean, there's so many ways and layers, and you see so many people doing different things, that you stay in that open mindset and boom, like you end up falling into things that you hadn't even thought about. Like now what I do, I make a pretty good living doing what I do, and it's something I never even thought about. But once I got in that open mindset, you start to see things and opportunities start to present themselves that I wasn't necessarily looking for. It was more of a changing of that have internally and then externally follows it. You know, I think a lot of time we look at it from the outside in, where there should be from the inside out. So you're waiting, well, once I have abundance, then I can think that way. Well, no, it works the other way. You have to have that fulfillment internally, and then the external will present itself and fix itself. Another analogy that I always liked was that if reality is a reflection like in a mirror, when you don't like what's in the mirror, you don't change the mirror, you change what's causing the reflection. And so, you know, I'm pretty sure people have heard that, but like to really be in that mind state. And it's a process. If people don't know where you've been, they could say, well, you know, I mean, you got a decent job, that's nothing. But if you've been to a person where you've struggled with having this mindset of getting to one level is a huge accomplishment for you. And then once you go there, okay, what's next? I see how this works. Now I'm excited about what can I create next. Another set of dreams I would have would be being like in a jail cell or locked up somewhere. And every time the door is open, every single time the door is open, and I know that's metaphorically speaking, that, you know, the limitations are there by you. You know, they're an illusion. And the door to get outside of those is open. And so I just thought that was something that was profound, that helped me. And then being in tune with that part of my internal self. Because I hear a lot of people like, ain't nothing but a dream. But if you dream all this time, and regardless of whether you think it's just your mind playing tricks on you, just something that happens in your brain, however you look at it, what are you learning? What is it telling you? What's going on with your subconscious mind while you're asleep? And you think you will learn a lot about what things you need to address. And so that's why I always thought, I've learned to know that it's an incredibly valuable tool. So, and I think that cardboard box in a mansion applies to more than just physical needs, you know, where you get your income from. It applies to access to certain abilities and things, you know, your intuitiveness, or, you know, whatever it is, because people will teach you to get in that box. And once you get outside of that box and make people uncomfortable, now they're trying to convince you to get back in that box. So you get to the point where there is no box. I'm not getting in any box, you know. I've been told that I have access to everything in this house and beyond. And if that was given to me, then no one around can stop you from that. You know, if you're stopped by something beyond you, that's one thing. But if you're given the green light by your creator, you know, God, higher self, however you define that. I don't get into arguing with people about how they define that. That's their personal relationship that they have a right to. I'm not putting anybody in a box. So it applies to a lot of different stuff. And exploration, if I have access to the whole house, well, you know, I want to see the house. I want to see this. I want to look at the art. You know, I want to go in all the rooms. I want to go outside. You know, if I'm being told that I have this freedom to do that, then I'm going to exercise that. Then you step into that, and it's just such a profound feeling of vastness and of possibilities, and just boom, just the mind is just like completely like, wow. You know, whether something is challenging or something flows easy to you, it's still an experience. And to kind of have an excitement about that, you know, how is this going to play out? This is difficult, but it's there for me to see. It's there for me to experience. And it's great. I mean, that has tremendously changed my mindset and my outlook and my sense of things. And it's just, you know, it's just, I love it.